very warm welcome to Great Principles. I am Seema Chhoriya. Fortune favors the bold. Today, we take calculated risks and get mediocre results. The best outcomes are the ones where the person dares to take the leap of faith and believes in the dream. Please join me to extend a very warm welcome to our assertive educator of the day, Dr. Heena Rachh, a leading educationist from overseas. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. We are very, very pleased to have you with us.
Thank you, Seema. Thank you so much for having me at this beautiful, prestigious platform. Pleasure is all mine.
And we are very, very eager to unveil your journey. We have seen this, that not everyone is interested in becoming an educator, because this is so-called non-glamorous world here. You have to do a lot. But here we are to spotlight you and know your journey. So tell us, once upon a time as a child and now in your youth, you always knew that you would be a teacher and you pursued your conviction, and today you are an educator of repute. So tell me, why did you wanted to be an educator?
Maybe I was always born to be a teacher. That's what my feeling is. In fact, I chose education as my career as an option because I firmly believe that education empowers people and changes lives. I live that conviction, in fact, Seema, and I am the best example of how education has changed my life. I was appointed as the youngest principal 20 years back in one of the largest chain of schools and worked in a corporate from there, kick-started a school in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and for last 5 years, I'm with the Global Indian International School, Abu Dhabi.
So what is one thing, that makes you stand to your conviction? Can you give us any example where a life was changed because you educated someone?
There are n number of examples that flashes across my mind, but there are times where children have actually taken me. There was one particular instance which absolutely I was overwhelmed when it was written in the slam book that you are the only Bible I read. The grade 12, a topper child, when she writes in the slam book when I was leaving that place that you are the only Bible I read, and that came to me as such a great responsibility then on that, okay, there's somebody who is reading you and you only, and you need to fulfill that particular expectation of the society.
That's true. Our children count so much on us unknowingly also. We are not aware that how much they are following us and how much they just want to be the replicas of ours. So yes, we as teachers and educators and even as parents have this great responsibility of being a right role model. And I'm sure, ma'am, you have fulfilled that because today you are here and changing so many lives. So moving ahead in our conversations. So, everyone has a vision, and right, as you said, that education is what shapes lives. So tell me, what is your personal vision for your students and youth of the world?
See, personally, basically, I feel that today's youngsters are a bundle of energy and enthusiasm. They wear their sleeves on their heart. If given the right direction, they can work wonders. So the young learners at GIS Abu Dhabi are groomed to be world citizens, by consciously incorporating holistic learning at every stage of their life. Like every single question raised by the student is responsibly and respectfully addressed by the educators, because curiosity is that what flames, we have to flame their curiosity. Questioning is education. So we have to ensure that we do not underestimate any single child, and that curiosity, we have a Kutuhal program also for that, the journey of curiosity, which has got even a golden peacock award. So we truly believe that individual passion in form of hobbies, or what makes every child has something unique, and how do you identify that individuality in that child, nurture, and because I firmly believe that every child is unique, every child is blessed with a talent or ability to do something better than anyone else. So teachers have to spot that exceptional talent, groom it, nurture it. It's like a plant, you are nurturing the plant with the right amount of sunlight, water, manure. So that is the role of the teacher.
Very well said, ma'am. But having said that, as you mentioned that every child is unique and we need to understand what kind of learning abilities are to be given to that child. I have one question which always keep tickles my mind. How important it is for a child to understand each and every subject, and why can't a child just decide that I want to do this and I just want to go ahead with it? Still, what age should we introduce all the subjects, and what is the right time when the child can just switch to the stream of his liking?
Oh, that's a wonderful question, and it is quite a debatable as well. But at my personal view, if you'll ask, that fundamentals of numeracy and language, these are the two fundamentals which the child has to be exposed to. And of course, there are like this, what I feel is education is a platform where you provide different opportunities to the child, and he or she picks up from what is suiting best to that. But yeah, numeracy is that like basic counting and fundamentals of addition, subtraction, or four fundamentals of math operation. And my language, whatever language it will, it's not necessarily be my mother tongue. I have to be very words have to be there. Whatever ideas I have, I need to express that. So language and numbers, two things. And apart from that, a child has to be exposed to various like curricular, extracurricular, different subjects like social studies, science. They can be learned at any time given. So I have to basically see that what is my aptitude and how is my attitude towards that learning, and pick up that. And so I, as an educator, I have to provide that particular platform to the child.
Absolutely, it's very right that the child should be exposed to all the different kind of subjects which he has and different kind of activities that he can enroll, and then he can take up a decision. But yes, very rightly said that we all, it's very debatable till what age should he teach learn the subjects. Like I have my daughter, she asked me, why do I need to learn history when Google is there to tell me everything? So what is the importance of this subject? So I'm like, at times I'm clueless. I don't have answer to this. What should I say with this tech world? It's difficult now.
So Seema, that's a beautiful point you touched up, and that is what I talk to my educators out here. That it's an info boom age, and you don't need to now give information to children. So you have to actually change your strategies with the changing times. It is how you manage. What do you do with that information? So even if I'm teaching a topic tomorrow in the class, I can give well 1 week in advance. Come prepared, and you have to start from where they stop. So what do you do with that information? That is very important.
Absolutely. So, after having the information, how do you absorb that information? What is that you've taken? That is important. Very well said. So, this is what is needed today. We have a lot of information bombarding every second, but the child need to understand which is the right information, what is the source of that information, and how much is required to be retained out of that. So wonderfully answered. Moving ahead to my next question. So you have received 50 under 50 Indian Achiever Award. So how do you feel when you receive that award? And everyone likes that little point of appreciation too. So what is that keeps you motivated in this field?
To be very frank, I do not work for awards. However, there is that hidden spirit in me that pushes me to give my best in almost anything I do. And recognition, when received, of course, inspires you to work for attaining the next level. So it endorses you. And awards are byproducts, because whatever you do, they are the byproducts. In fact, my very first award, which I had, of course, that was a UNO 2007 award, which I had received for, because it was fighting the nature's fury in a very, very different manner, where the whole school was underwater, and how we took it over. So that was one. But getting the championship, state championship award for lawn tennis at the age of 40 is very close to my heart. That I could be a role model, that okay, I can start playing at any age. So you don't grow old just because when you stop playing, you grow old. So that they are byproducts that just inspires you to go to the next level.
Certainly, certainly. This is what at times what happens is, in the routine in our life, we all keep on doing our work, but there is something which is needed, a push. So I think these awards work as a push, as you rightly said. They gives you that recognition and you're going on. And I really love the point where you mentioned that age is just a number. If you decide, you can do anything at any age. So this is a good take to all my viewers. Whatever was there in your mind, and if you haven't started lately, then started, and you will never know that you have achieved that. So it's all depends upon our willpower. So wonderful takeaway from this answer. On this lovely note, we have reached to the very interesting segment of the show. This is called the rapid fire round. So ma'am, you have to answer me in one word, or a statement would do. Okay.
Okay.
So here comes my
Rapid
very first.
fire, puts you on onto that fire of what's going to come up.
Right. So we are now going to reveal some fun facts here. So are you a movie buff?
Absolutely. I'm a Bollywood buff.
Wonderful. So who is your favorite Bollywood celebrity?
I have no particular liking for one or the other. It's a movie or it's an idea. If that I like, I just love that particular. So it's a characterization more than a person.
So did you watch the 83 movie, which was released recently?
The last movie I watched is Gangubai Kathiawadi, and of course Kashmir Files I want to watch, but it's restricted over here, so I didn't get the chance. But Tashkent Files was one, definitely a beautiful movie which was there. But movies like Gangubai, where you're thrown into any circumstance and you
Yeah.
make the most out of it.
Yeah, so movies are like stories, and we use these kind of stories even to educate our children. So it
Absolutely,
is.
absolutely. In fact, one of the movies where it was kind of a commercial Om Shanti Om, but that सारी कायनात उसे तुम्हें मिलाने में लग जाएगी. मतलब
Yeah.
किसी चीज को इतनी शिद्दत से चाहो. So that is what we want to tell children, that your dreams, your thoughts can turn into reality with right kind of efforts, of course.
So children, you need to watch movies, not too much, but yes, few movies are allowed to you, and it will have a lot of good learnings for you. Moving ahead to my next question, how do you spend your recreational time?
I am into strength training. I have my gym. I have my meditation and music. So these are the things which keep me busy. And I write few things. I have my channel, YouTube channel, High Tea with Heena. So that is also I'm very passionate about, where I talk on parenting or different. So I'm busy with shooting that and editing those things and putting on YouTube. So these are all different hobbies which I nurture.
Wow, wonderful. And both require a different level of expertise. Talking about gym, you have to be consistent to see the results. And we people keep switching from one to another. So, any one tip for our viewers that how can they be consistent toward their fitness goals?
That is what discipline is, the most important thing. You have to, nobody can do that for you. You have to self discipline yourself, and you have to keep motivating yourself every day. There's no other motivation. Today only I had posted that today I don't have any motivational quotes. If you want to give up, give up. But you have to keep motivating yourself every day.
That's true, right? So, and yes, even the YouTube channel, you have to work on the content. There is so much of the work that you have to keep doing. So, what are the other new kind of areas that you are exploring these days?
So that is what I say, that editing, this technology world, we are migrant, we are not native of that. Like this generation is born with tablets in their hand. We are the migrant into that. So that is of my interest. That how do you, and parenting, of course, it's always keep intrigues me. That okay. Universally, I find parents are saints, and I work a lot on design thinking as well.
Mhm.
So I love to be into that public space where I can really talk to people and understand. And with youngsters, you're always young. So that is how I love interacting with new people. And in fact, solo traveling is one of my passion. Just before, I mean, this Eid holidays, I utilized being at Bangalore in a naturotherapy center. So that were 10 days detoxing yourself. So these are the solo travels. You learn a lot when you travel solo, that too. So I keep taking those trips.
I always had that in my diary that I want to go on a solo trip, yet never got a chance. But now I'm certainly going to go because, as you mentioned, I need to learn a lot.
Trust me, that will change your life. There will be a lot of inhibitions you'll be shedding on the way when you travel solo, and a lot of learning will happen in the way. It's a beautiful freedom. You will find newfound freedom.
Wow. And I'm really looking forward to become Seema 2.0 and start my solo traveling soon.
Absolutely. All the best to you.
So, now coming to my next question, name three benefits of reading.
Of course, it's a mental gymnastic. Reading for the sake of reading, just pure joy that it gives you, and catharsis which you have, that you can relate to that character and you can live that character. So empathizing with the character, so you cathartic feeling that would have. So these are the three benefits that come to my mind.
Coming up to my last question in this segment, name an educationist you look upon for your inspiration, advice, and support.
I have learned as a live educationist, more than that, I have learned like a lot from Vivekananda's philosophy or Aurobindo's philosophy. So these two are people whom I look up to, their educational philosophy. And of course, you learn every day. It's not that one particular person would be there. I just read Buddha a lot, or Osho, or I am an avid reader, a voracious reader. So I keep on looking. J. Krishnamurti's philosophy of education is so beautiful. So I keep looking at different aspects, and I keep learning into day-to-day lives from different educators, my peer, my counter parallels, and children. They are also there to teach you. So that is how. It's not one, but it's many, and every day there's a different learning.
Amazing. So great answers in this segment. Now, coming from these answers of this segment, only I have one question for you, as you mentioned about parenting. So, every mother, and I think I should not use the word mother, it will be very gender biased. So every parent have this feeling that I'm not enough. And somewhere at the back of the mind, we all keep feeling that, maybe I'm the reason that my child is not up to that level, or I caused that failure for him. So what is your take on this? Does every parent go through this?
I think because too much of helicopter parenting is there and that guilt comes in. And I always talk to the parent that you have to, because sometimes our presence is not there. So we give presents. So our presence is, compensated by presence, by gifting them. So we remove our guilt. No need for that. In fact, we give maximum. All parents, of course, we have got children into the world to give them the best. We should not live our dreams through our children. What I did not get as a child, I want to give it to my child, and helicoptering them. So this all things parents will have to consciously tell themselves that. And I always give this beautiful example of this hobbyist, this amateur who raised butterflies as hobbies. So once when he was seeing the journey of this caterpillar turning into butterfly and breaking through the cocoon, so out of mistaken kindness, he splits the cocoon with his thumbnail. And what happens to the butterfly? It was never able to use its wings ever. So we as parents need to consciously say that struggle is also part of growing up, and the more they'll struggle, there will be a possibility of growth. So if you want probabilities, look for problems, and that is why we should give our children problems, and their problems are universal. Solving them is individual. That is what we need to nurture our children into.
What a wonderful answer. I think we all parents are doing too much of spoon feeding and hand holding for our children. Everything is ready made for them. If we are not around, then caregivers are there who are doing everything for them. So I think this is what is needed. Just leave them and see how independently they can grow, and they are self-reliant in no time. So wonderful take. And yes, we all should learn from this beautifully small butterfly story that ma'am narrated. So, on this lovely note of parenting guidance, we reach to the last question of the show, which is called the viewer's choice question. So, my viewer says that there's a constant buzz in education sector, especially in the K-12 sector, about bringing in various policies and reforms that should benefit children as schoolgoers and youth of the country. So, can you please share some light on the needs and importance of 21st century skills? We have already lived 20 years of 21st century, 22 years now, apparently, and we keep on talking about 21st century skills. So, what is it all about?
Yeah, thank you, Seema, for that question. Like the term 21st century, as you said, we have been living. So, what does it refer to? It refers to knowledge, skills, work, habits, character traits that are believed to be by the educators or school reformers or college professors or employers, and others are critically. That's very important for the success in today's world. So with this onset of 21st century, the entire world has witnessed an era of intense transformation, isn't it? And in all the areas, whether it is education, you talk about global trade, economy, technology, or society in general. So basically, what we have to have is the thinking skills or the communication skills that is frequently identified as a crucial element in preparing students effectively for life beyond school. So what we need to teach our children is that we have success plan A, B, C. Nobody has prepared failure plan A, B. So what next? So children have to be, taken into that zone of a thinking capability where, so what next? Adaptability. In pandemic times, we have seen that that was one of the traits which was required utmost, because if there is anything that is constant, that is change. So adaptability is very important, resourcefulness or creativity. And as we all talk about problem solving, what is this problem solving? Is that they are universal problems, but that how do I tackle it individually? So we prepare. It's an education for life. It's not one time. It's, it starts from womb to tomb, as we call it. So critical thinking or inquiry skills or research skills, and what to do with the information. So these are all 21st century skills which we need to equip children with and nurture them into how do you implement that or execute that.
Absolutely. I think, and there is more emphasis on these skills because today we are sitting at the stage where everything is changing. I think just look back 5 years back, where were we and where we are today? We ourselves have changed so much. So we are preparing our children for the future, which even we aren't aware. What kind of jobs would exist? What is the work profile that would require? What qualities would employers be looking into? So I think that is why the 21st century skills are very, very essential. So to all my dear educators, to all my dear parents, ensure that you are focusing on building these skills in your children. Other things will fall in place once the children have the natural inquisitiveness. So once we have all these skills in place, then there is no looking back and they will find their way, right? So they were lovely takeaway from this wonderful session with Dr. Heena Rachh. And to all my dear viewers, go and check her YouTube channel, High Tea with Heena. The title sounds so amazing. So you all can think of having a high tea with her because there is a lot to learn. So thank you so much for your time with us, ma'am. And I'm sure that the kind of a vision which you have, there is a lot which is going to happen. And I'm sure that with educators like you, a very bright future is waiting for our children out there.
Thank you. Thank you, Seema. Thank you so much.